You know who I am?
Anything you say. Anything you say.
It's official.
What's up, YouTube? This week, talk to you about a couple things, and then we'll do a video reaction. Feminist Cringe compilation video reaction. First thing, the whole Trump thing still going on, the whole impeachment thing over this Ukraine BS. But you know, everyone knows it's a bunch of baloney. The Democrats are desperate. They're trying to get rid of Trump because they know they can't beat him. So they keep fabricating up crap, you know. So it's just a joke. Everybody knows it. Nothing's going to happen. So, all right, moving on from that. I played a game, a PS1 game called Bugs and Taz Time Busters. I wouldn't say it was necessarily better than Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, but it wasn't bad. You know, it's another Mario style type game, you know, where you have different worlds. You gotta, you know, get so many pieces to unlock certain areas and that kind of crap. But in this one, you have to have Taz tag along with you, because there's certain abilities that Taz has that opens up certain areas for you for Bugs. So he has to have him tag along. And you have to figure out certain puzzles together using both characters in certain areas. Now, there's only about 4 worlds, so it wasn't nearly as long as Lost in Time, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just a little too short. I blew through it really fast. It was a decent game. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'd give it a couple thumbs up. You know, go ahead and check it out if you like Mario style games. All right. For this week's video reaction, I did a little digging, a little research, because I knew a bit of the history of feminism. I just didn't know like certain dates and stuff like that, and names, certain names. Apparently feminism actually started in ancient times. One of the first recordings of it was back in ancient Rome. Apparently they had some type of law that didn't allow women to contain goods or money, and women had this big uproar over it. One of the senators, I believe it was, the Roman senators, made a prediction. He quoted that as soon as they become your equals, they will definitely eventually become your superiors. Of course, you know, at the time he was kind of ignored, but in these days and times it's practically coming true. Feminism in America kind of started with Britain. In Britain, kind of the feminism movement in Britain. Back in the late 1700s, not quite 1800s, but there was a woman named Mary Wollstonecraft. Now, Wollstonecraft took some writings of 2 European men who were advocating on the rights of men, and flip-flopped their basically stole their writings, almost plagiarized it, and turned it around and just wrote the same stuff, except for it was about women. So basically, feminism started stealing what men did at an early stage. Anyways, she basically took their writings, wrote her own thing, and it kind of started, or you know, kind of flip-flop what they wrote, and just put women instead of men in there, about women's rights instead of men's rights, and it started the whole feminism movement. Of course, that spilled over into the USA. And in 1848, at Seneca Falls, the primary woman who started the feminism over here was called Elizabeth Cady Stanton. She basically got it started, or helped the movement get started over here. Basically what she did was kind of wrote a little document about the rights of women and how they should have the right to vote and stuff. Well, it'd take a while. Eventually, in 1920, they did pass the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. However, most women literally was against this. The majority of women were literally against this. And it took the so-called hierarchy or patriarchy, white males, gave them the right to vote. Just say, hey, you know, let them have the right to vote. So they did. So feminists should be thanking white males for allowing them to vote, because that's who allowed them to vote. If it wasn't for white males, they wouldn't have gotten the right to vote. So they got the 19th Amendment in 1920. It would take several more years. But after World War II, the 40s, it showed that women could, you know, work just as much as men could, or just do as well at work as men can. So it'd take a few more years of feminism complaining about equal pay in the workforce. You know, once the man came back, and so you got the Equal Pay Act in 1963, which is the law that says, you know, if they're not being paid the equal amount of pay that a man is in a workplace, if they're doing the same type of job, then it's against the law. At this point in time, this is where feminism should have ended, just period. Women got their equal rights, they got their equal pay. It should have been done. You've heard the expression, you give them an inch and they'll want a mile. And that's literally what happened with feminism. We gave them an inch, and now they want a mile. Everything that, after 1963, everything that feminism has moaned and groaned about is basically, you know, nothing but lies. It's a big baloney. It's BS. Because they got their equal rights. They got equality. It's gotten ridiculous, you know. And like any religious fanatic, you tell them, or you know, you show them proof evidence, logic, truth. You know, you show all this to them, and even right to their face, and they can't handle the truth. They can't stand it. Because it's so much easier to live in a world of fantasy than to face reality. They don't want to face reality. They don't, you know, feminism today has become a evil religious cult, sadistic cult, and it's sexist. Because if you don't, you know, if they cannot convert you, they will turn on you. And they will tell you that, I don't care if you're a woman or not. They will turn on you. And they will tell you that you deserve to die. Feminism today is all about hate, power, destruction, and death. That's all feminism is. And that's the literal truth. And fact. That's facts. Anyways, we're going to watch this Feminist Cringe compilation. Some of this I guarantee you I'm probably going to agree with. We'll see how this goes. Let's get this started. And let's keep it real.
I sort of had a speech prepared, so I thought
Yep. That's right. No one cares about your bitching and whining, your lies and your rhetoric. Nobody cares. It's all a bunch of baloney. Real women don't get brainwashed by this crap.
Like literally, when I get harassment that actually is original, I kind of have this moment of like, oh, cool, you tried. Right? Because the thing is, it's just all the same, right? So, you know, it was very similar to a lot of the other women that I've seen online get harassed, right? Like we kind of buckle down and we expect it, which is such a horrible place to be.
That's what men do. She's literally quoting what men do.
Only women face harassment online.
That's right. He's totally right.
And look, the majority of the people here are they're trolls because they like to see you freak out about it, and that's exactly what you guys are doing. You're feeding.
I mean, even your language, like freak out about, like no.
See, you're just
See, they're freaking out.
Facing harassment, that's not to say that no other communities face any harassment.
See, you're
wow.
Can we please remove this question?
He's telling them the truth. They don't want to hear it, so they're shutting them down. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the truth. They can't stand truth and logic. They hate it. You bring up facts and they will run. And they will argue with you and call you names.
So yeah, Jesus, tell us what you think about Anita's performance at VidCon.
Well, I mean, who am I to judge? But I did see a little bit of hypocrisy in what she had to say.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's maybe a little bit more context that I need to be aware of, but come on. Really? Turn the other cheek. Be like you. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Come on.
Nature of feminists. Oh my God. It's just dumb.
What are these girls doing? They're taking a stand against inequality. They're also taking a whiz. That's how. Does this look equal to you? We're both just peeing. Female friends everywhere. For years, you have not been able to pee.
See what I'm talking about?
Today, you are free to pee as you please. With the great equalizer of men and women, Ms. Whiz. Ms. Whiz is a female
Nonsense.
the modern woman's weapon against inequality and unsanitary toilets.
Some of these
Clean,
feminists
comfortable
have
way, though,
some
when you
serious
can't or
mental
don't want to
issues.
sit. Just hold Ms. Wiz over your business and Dan going to the bathroom before, we guarantee you.
I really
Dan
feel
going to the
sorry
bathroom now.
for women who have been brainwashed into this cult. They need help.
Listen up. There's still not equal pay for equal work anywhere in the world.
That's been proven to be
And it
false
seems
100
most women are not
times.
even angry about it. But we should be.
Oh yeah.
So let's set a new goal.
Believe in a
From
lie.
now on, equal pay is no longer enough.
What?
Because women need more. Our
Oh my
haircuts
God.
are more expensive. Our underwear is ridiculously more expensive. It's simply
Wow.
more expensive to be a woman than to be a man. Should we seriously get paid less than someone who applies body lotion to his face?
They literally don't hide the fact
Doesn't
that they're
need an outfit
deranged.
for every new occasion. He doesn't even know that the shoes make the
They're
outfit.
really telling you the truth about
Oh,
feminism.
the joy of choosing the right shoe. Fashion is expressing yourself.
They
And
they
what
literally are
every
telling you
stylish
they
woman
don't
is
care about
expressing is that
equality.
Equal pay is not enough. Equal pay.
This is exactly
is
what
not
feminism
enough.
is. They literally want more. They literally want to be dominant over everybody. They want to control everybody. That's feminism. It's a lie. It's hate, greed, power. Yeah, see, that's retarded.
Here at Darlington, students learn to push through boundaries. How to make an impact
What?
and really leave a mark. Because here at Darlington, if you touch a girl without consent,
Oh, what? This is Antifa shit. That's really a series? That's fucked up.
Now, the director of controversial documentary The Red
Now what if a
Business
guy,
to promote
what if they had a series about men that did something like that? Oh my god.
for being
This is ridiculous.
But Cassie J claims that she was a feminist who changed her views on gender equality while making the
Oh yeah, the chick who did the real Red Pill movie. I've never actually watched that movie.
groups as misogynist propaganda.
I know what it's
Cassie
about,
J joins us now. Thanks
but I've
for
never
being with us,
watched it.
Cassie. There seems to be two issues here. There is the issue of the film's content that some disagree with, and then there's the issue of freedom.
See, she used to be a feminist, but realized what feminism really is, and then she said, nope, I will no longer be associated with feminism, period.
Absolutely. I think people need to see the film in order to have an opinion about the film, and unfortunately in Australia we've had so many screens pulled from theaters, preventing Australians from being able to see the film for themselves.
Yeah, which, you know, as you say, sort of restricts the conversation that we're able to have around this. Now, on the content of the film, Cassie, I mean, I think it's really interesting and it's important probably to highlight some of the issues that men are facing in the modern world that they feel are, you know, really holding them back or getting them down. But can I ask you this?
I've seen this guy before. He's a feminist, a male feminist, a soy boy.
Why did you have to focus on the views of these
I don't like him.
extreme misogynists of the men's right movement, people like Paul Elam? Why do you highlight men's issues by promoting men who minimise women's issues?
Well, you have to see the film to see why I interviewed Paul Elam, because I had been a feminist of about 10 years before making the Red Pill movie, and all my previous work was about women's issues or gender, LGBT rights, gay marriage, that sort of thing. I've always been interested in gender politics, and I came across Paul Elam's writings on avoiceformen.com, and I was shocked and appalled and offended as a feminist woman. And so I decided to make a film about a voice for men and the men's rights movement in the large scope of that, because no one had made a film about the men's rights movement before. And so I interviewed 44 different people for this film, feminists and men's rights activists. And it's a very complicated.
So she interviewed both men and women, feminists and male rights activists.
Did you see the film?
Well, we saw as much as we could because your publicist wouldn't send us the full thing.
I sent you the actually to the
They didn't watch the film.
As much as we
They totally didn't watch the film.
Be that as it may,
No, you guys are full of shit. They're full of shit. They didn't watch the film.
Yes, there is. Absolutely. If you've seen the film, you would see the questions that I asked and their answers. And this film is not propaganda. I'm not promoting any kind of view that the viewer should take away. It's simply a journey looking at what men's rights activists have to say.
No, that's what they're trying to portray.
Let's make up their own mind.
See, this is the reason why people do not trust the media anymore. Because they're so far left that they will take just bits and pieces of what you've done and use it to their narrative to push an agenda. In this case, feminism.
The way that he tries to get people to listen is by offending them to get them to read his website, and ironically enough.
See, they're just focusing on this one guy, even though she interviewed several people from both sides. They don't like this guy because he's totally against feminism, so that's what they're focusing on.
Is it that in setting up these guys as the spokesman for the issues that men face, we
see how he's dodging the rest of the interview? He's just focusing on the one guy, and he does that all the time. I've seen him do interviews before. He does that to people all the time. He focuses on one issue out of the entire thing.
I think we have to have this conversation about what is going on for men in family courts and male disposability.
One negative thing, and he'll focus on that the entire time. He won't go over the rest of it.
Why not have them with regular men, not guys who are in charge of...
See, that's offensive to me. Regular men.
Dr. Warren Farrell, who is very even...
He's like, why don't you have it with male feminists, soy boys?
I interviewed Fred Hayward, who is a father who lost his custody of his son. I interviewed plenty of very sound-minded people in the film, men's rights activists. Paul Elam is certainly one of the most, eccentric voices in the movement.
Sure.
And I, of course, have to show him.
Okay. Of course, she had wanted to interview one that's extreme on one side and one that's extreme on the other. Duh.
Well, you have to see the film to see what led me down that.
For all the people that haven't seen the film, can you just explain why?
See, they haven't seen it.
Because isn't that what feminism
They're so full of shit.
I am for gender equality. I absolutely
wow.
love women's issues and girls being empowered full-handedly. That is my innate passion in life, was looking into women's issues. That's why I spent 10 years making films about women's issues, and I still hold true to that. But feminism is an ideology that really wants to keep the blinders on, just looking at women's girls' issues. And
equality, exactly. Equality's fine.
Don't look at male victims, and
but yeah, stop blaming the so-called mythical patriarchy. It's so stupid.
I mean, you're talking about a very, very small slice of feminism.
Feminists want to dominate. They want to control everything and everybody. It's not about equality anymore.
Feminism does blame.
They think they deserve special treatment.
To blame men for all the ills of the world. So feminism even blames men for their own issues, blaming it on patriarchy. So it's the fault of men, and it's a way to dismiss men's issues.
They want their cake and they eat it too.
But anyway,
Cassie J.
It's an interesting discussion, a really interesting discussion, Cassie.
Thank you for being with us.
If there's consequences, that's a whole different thing. Such as going to jail and stuff. They don't want equal rights then. They want special compensation. They don't want to suffer the same consequences.
Yeah, if you can get on to see it, which we haven't been able to on several occasions. All right.
You're so full of shit. You're a liar.
The reason that women aren't getting paid the same isn't...
Oh, this is done by someone named 50 Shades of... I don't know whoever that is, but he put this together.
In the workplace, it's about the fact that we don't value carers, and we don't share care.
Spleen is about to erupt, and what is your response to
Oh, this is London. Oh, Pierce Morgan.
Two people standing side by side, one man, one woman, on a factory line, doing exactly the same job, and the man getting more. the way that the comparability of the pay gap
Exactly.
is taking into account such things as women tend to work more part-time, then trying to take two completely separate...
See, it's about choice.
And trying to get some
Women usually do part-time. They want to spend more time with their family.
from a point in which you really could have two people side by side doing exactly the same thing, lawfully being paid completely different rates. So I don't
See?
actually buy into this. Our problem
Debunked.
is this. We've actually got it.
Pay gap
We
debunked.
don't know what to do with it, so now we want special favours like positive discrimination. Oh, bless us all.
Ah! She's so right. That's exactly what I did. Yeah, hell yeah. Damn right, that bitch is pimping. She's got it. I totally agree. She
law school, and I
totally
think it's
nailed it.
interesting to know because I think we're both feminists.
I never considered myself a feminist.
Judge Judy, fuck you, don't call me feminist. I ain't no damn feminist.
I never belonged to...
I love Judge Judy, she's awesome.
I didn't want to be...
She just flat out tells it how it is. That's why Judge Judy got so popular.
I was a judge.
That's why people loved her show, because she was all like, fuck you. This is the way it is, and you're trying to bullshit me. Don't lie to my face. She's a no-nonsense woman. You don't fuck with Judge Judy. She'll nail your ass to the wall.
If you let other people define you, that's a mistake. So I never felt the need to...
See, you be a strong woman, not be a feminist.
Assistance to me.
Feminism is
I think it's funny,
terrible to women. They're basically calling them weak.
Social, political, and economic equality for men and women. So, you know, I wish people would.
No. It's special compensation for women to control everything. That's what feminism is. Get it right.
No, because I don't think a movement actually, Katie, helped me. Being part of an organization never defined me.
That's it. I love Judge Judy. She's awesome. She's awesome. Love that woman. Yeah, they just flat out tell. She just flat out tells it how it is. That's the way it is, you know. Let's stop claiming that feminism is about equality, because it's not. They stopped being that after the 1960s when they got the Equal Pay Act. That's when it stopped. It should have been done after that. You have equality. So stop your bitching, stop your whining. Grow up and be real women. Start acting like real women. Stand by your man like you should be doing. Instead of fighting with him. Anyways, moving on. You can tell I can't stand feminism, period, because it's so full of baloney. It's not even funny. It's ridiculous. Anyways, moving on. So, movie holics. Let's get to your 2 movies this week. This week we went with Horror Week. So we're doing 2 horror films. The first one, they're both old school. These are old school films from the 1960s. First one is called 13 Ghosts. Now this isn't the 2001 version of 13 Ghosts, which I love that movie, but I didn't know that it was based off an original that was a remake, basically. Sort of. It didn't really have the same story. It was a little bit different. But I didn't know there was an original movie until here recently. I saw that there was a 1960 version. I was like, what the heck? So I decided to watch it. It starred Donald Woods and Joe Moreau, which was a knockout back then. She was a big actress back then. It was done in 1960. It didn't do horrible for back then, but it didn't do like really great. It only made about $2 million domestically. The movie, which is a lot different, kind of have quite a bit difference from the remake of 2001. Basically, this guy inherits this old house from his uncle, who is deceased, and basically his uncle was kind of like a ghost hunter. He dealt with the supernatural and he hunted ghosts or whatever, blah blah blah. The attorney tells him all about it, and he says he thinks the house is haunted. They meet a woman who's like a live-in maid, and she basically helped his uncle, with scientific reports into the supernatural and ghosts. So she stayed there. She stays on to help him out.
You know who I am?
She does believe that the ghosts are there.
Anything?
Excuse me. Come to find out, the main story is, the attorney's trying to scare them because supposedly the uncle took out all his money and hid it in the house, out of the bank, and hid it in his house. He's trying to get the family to sell the house and not live there so he can claim the money. But he eventually gets caught, and he actually ends up dying because of it, and he becomes the 13th ghost. So it's not a bad movie. It was actually okay for back then. I didn't think it was all that bad, but it wasn't really scary or anything. It was just more of a mystery type thing. It was decent for them. So if you like older movies and you don't mind, a good story instead of special effects, because obviously special effects wasn't all that great. The acting was good. I give it a 2 thumbs up. Check it out. You'll like it. The next one I watched was The Day of the Triffids, and it was done in 1963. This was basically a British horror film. It starred Howard Keel, Nicole Murray, and Janina Faye. It was pretty good. It wasn't too bad for what it was. It was kind of like an invasion movie. Basically, the story is everyone goes blind after this meteor shower. And then these plants kind of like, I don't know, they come alive or some crap, they're supposed to came off a meteor or something. Anyways, it's spewing all these spores, and it's caused millions of them to grow all over the earth, and they're coming alive and they're killing people, and they're like a carnivorous plant, so they eat people like the Venus flytrap. So they're, there's one guy, he had an accident with his eyes, and the night the comets came, he was in the hospital, and he had bandages over his eyes. When he woke up, he pulled the bandages off, and he could see, but everybody else is blind. He meets a few others, especially a girl, which is Danina. Meets her, she can see. He meets a few people who can't see. He figures out how to get off. They're on an island or something. They figure out that the Navy, there's some guys in a some subs that didn't get blindness, so they're trying to help people get off the island and escape the plants. During his story going on, there's another story of a couple in a lighthouse, and he figures out seawater kills the plants. So that's what they use at the end of the movie, kill all the plants and restart humanity. It's all right. It's not bad. It's a decent movie for what it was. You know, if you like old classic horror flick or sci-fi flicks, you know. You know, the story was all right. It wasn't bad. Now I know there's a couple of remakes, a TV miniseries and another one done in like 2009 or something. I haven't watched them. At some point in time, I'll probably check them out just to see, you know, if they stuck to the storyline, if they did something different, or if it might be a little bit better. But yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, go ahead, check it out. It's not a bad movie, basically story-wise. I give it 2 thumbs up. Just go ahead, man. That's all I have for you today, or this week. Please leave some comments down below in the comment section, some suggestions of some old gems I might have missed that I could check out, review for you. Otherwise, you know, just let me know if you're liking the channel. You know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe, whatever. You know, if you want some more content. But anyway, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you've just been told.